This is the Finesse Media Podcast.
We're going to have some fun. Let's get on the rodeo and let's get ready for another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 7. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and each and every week, as I mentioned to you, I bring something brand new. And this week, man, I got someone not just brand new to maybe the public, but she's my longtime friend. Over 20 years, been holding it down. You see her. She's rocking blue and gold. She's a lady of Sigma Gamma Rho. We'll get that out there right now. But she is a lady of Sigma Gamma Rho. She's an educator. She's a mom. She's a musician. And she's, for anybody that's watching this already knows, she's a lover of many friends. You can't be around this woman and not feel her energy, man. So welcome to the podcast. Make some noise if you're watching from at home. Turn this TV up and welcome my girl, my sister from Chicago, Illinois. Welcome to the podcast for the first time, Dr. Claudia Butler. What's up, man?
Man, what it do, fam? What it do?
Claudia, listen. I told you I had to, before we started taping, talk with you, but then I felt like we was just getting into a whole lot of the conversation. I said, look, we got to stop, hit record so that people can hear some of this, right?
Yeah.
Man, Claudia, what's going on? I also said you got your boots on the ground. You got your head on. It's Cowboy Carter season. Hey, lifetime member, did you say?
Yes, lifetime. You see that ice? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Let's talk about it. So how long has it been? I know this, but for people watching, how long has it been since you've been a member of Sigma Gamma Rho?
Well, I was inducted into the Alpha Chi chapter of UAPB in the spring of 2005.
Hey,
so it's been
20 years. 20 years. Yeah, I wanted you to say that so you can celebrate that 20 years. So you're lying. Y'all have anything planned for homecoming this year?
We always got something planned. Myself and Deanna Mouton, that's my link, my sister, my everything.
Deanna.
Yes.
If you need your
Industrial tech major.
Yeah. If you need any kind of travel plans or any business tips, I think, listen, Deanna, what's up? I know you watching East St. Louis on. She holds it down all the time. But listen, Claudia, we go way back. As I mentioned, with the Divine Nine, but we also were in the band together. We'll talk a little bit about that. But how did your experience in the band at UAPB shape your passion for public service and education? Because as I mentioned, you are a doctor, you have a doctorate degree in education, and you give so much of yourself in your sorority, but outside of the sorority, we also will talk about that. But how did being in the marching band, particularly at UAPB, shape your passion and your public service and with education?
Well, being a part of and for the marching musical machine of the Mid-South taught me about accountability. It taught me service. It taught me honor and respect. And on top of that, the quote by the John Graham, director of bands, the view at the top is great. Don't be late for your date with destiny. So it taught me that you gotta hit the ground running if you want to achieve your goals.
Yeah, if you want to achieve your goals. I always say that, like, when people from Chicago, like, there's a thing about Chicago that most will probably know, on the surface, we have good food, we have the best downtown, we have the best summertime. But what I coined about Chicagoans is that we have a drive and a passion and a dedication that's like no other place. I mean, I think being in Chicago, I don't know if it's the snow that we're walking in and with the bus we're waiting for, or if it's, just continuing to just go against the politics, if that is. Chicago people have a different dedication. And so you are certainly taking that on. You lived in Memphis. Memphis couldn't see you. I know it. You were in the school system teaching in Memphis. What was that like?
I love Memphis. When I tell you Memphis, that grit and grind, it helped me live by one of my personal mottos, which is God, grind, and growth. You have to have a strong faith in God to keep on going. You got to have that grind. Like my dad would always say, no one's going to give you nothing in this world. You got to go out and get it. And if you want to grow, you got to surround yourself by positive people, places, and things. And so Memphis is still in my heart, and I will forever love Memphis because it is still those three things in me. And I just want to say big up to my Memphis family as well as to my UAPB Memphis fam. What's up?
Yeah, Memphis is a good place. It's a place where a lot of great talent comes out of as well.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, your people, man, shout out to your parents. Like, they hold it down. All that food. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Like, that food I took home, over to the house, and I finally made it over there, right, Claudia, to get some.
Yes.
they came to homecoming this past homecoming 2024 and shut it down. Like the whole
That's
island was
look,
filled with food. So your people has
yes.
always been there supporting you, holding it down.
Yes, yes. My mom and dad is one thing they instilled in me was family and
Yeah.
service. So that's why when we every year when we go to homecoming, and especially when I was in band, going back to band, if if you didn't have a place to sleep, you didn't have food, they always knew that they can come over to my house and get you something to eat. No question asked. Because my mom and dad instilled that into me. So homecoming, if you don't have a place to go, you don't have a place to say, hey, just to lay your head for a couple minutes, you can come on over to our house and we'll take care of you.
No, that's real. That's real. I definitely have the to-go plates. And you know, a fun, not maybe a fun fact, but I actually ate the food, but it was so much as mentioned, and so we had leftovers, and we put them in the refrigerator at the Airbnb. The next day, we took off, and we got headed back to Dallas, and we got halfway down the road and realized we left the food inside of the refrigerator, Claudia.
Don't worry about it. We'll have a pantry this year. So don't worry about it. We got you. Mom and daddy already told me you already want to adopt a son. So come on.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, mom and dad. But listen, Claudia, you've earned multiple degrees across different disciplines: public
Yeah.
service, urban development, and special education. What fueled your drive to keep learning and expanding your impact in so many sectors?
Just the desire to help others.
Yeah.
Because when other people win, you win. And at the end of the day, you never know when your time is going to come when you need somebody to cross that bridge.
Hmm.
And so
Well,
that's what, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
So when you have, like, in the words of the great John Lewis, I was looking to get into some good trouble.
Yeah, go mob. That's my frat brother. So
You
good
hear me?
trouble is what John Lewis said we better get into. So, but when did you realize, like most people who have a desire for whatever the career field is, and I like I say on this platform, you know, that field you're finessing in. When did you realize that education, that you wanted to be an education, you wanted to be an educator?
I actually, believe it or not, I didn't.
You did not.
Believe it or not, I wanted to go to law school. And so I went to UAPB. I got my bachelor's in political science. I was all set to go to the public service school in Little Rock, Bill Clinton's public service school of public service. So I had a little brother who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And so my mom and dad had trouble navigating the educational system and didn't understand their rights and just the whole thing about what it was to be a parent with a child that had a disability. So what I did was I took on the responsibility, which is that God grind and growth in family, and said, you know what, I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna push myself to figure out how we can get our family through this. And so I enrolled myself in school. I came back here to Chicago, enrolled myself into the DePaul University, got a degree in public service. After I did that, went to Free Harding University, got a second master's in special education, so that way I can help my mom and dad and others who don't know their rights and don't know how it is to manage and a student or a child with a disability.
Mhm.
So I want to be that advocate for those folks who don't know.
Man, you're doing it, Claudia. I mean, you're doing it. I remember you being an advocate for me when I took college algebra. And remember Uncle Mike? And we would go in Uncle Mike's office, and I'll be like, Claudia, I can't get this math. I mean, hey, I'll say it openly. Most people who can't get through math is one of the challenging subjects, but college algebra was just another beast. And Claudia, you were his like assistant, I would say, maybe teacher assistant even. You were
Mm,
probably grading tests, but I would be right there in that office with you, hoping you
We
can
were
help me.
family, good time.
You
We
remember
were,
that?
yeah, we were family. That's like if you see the show A Different World, that was us. That
Yeah.
was us. We were family. I am my sister's keeper, and you, true enough, everybody that came in there, you were your brother's keeper. And guess what? We all got through it together. So I love you forever, my brother.
Love you back, man. Love you back. Listen, you've been loving on people, not just domestically, Claudia, as we talk about or have talked about, but you've also traveled internationally, collaborating with service organizations. So,
Mhm.
what global experiences have influenced you to serve in your student capacity and also in your community in Chicago? Like moving or doing things internationally is huge. What was that like?
It was just remembering where you came from.
Yeah. What
And
places did you go? Let's tell the people. I know it, but
I've been to Spain, I've
there
been to
you go.
Germany, I've been to Ireland, I've been to, of course, different places, like I said, in the UK. But what I've learned is that America is great and that us as Americans need to realize and do our homework on where we came from and the greatness of where we need to be. And that we're all diverse and we all have to have an open mind. We stand in a democracy, and a democracy in which we can stand up and voice our opinion, whether we are brown, black, blue, or from different economic perspectives, that we have the ability to help those that are others and educate them to get to farther and greater, just empower others.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wow. And Spain, I mean, what was kind of that like? I thought I wanted to go there to celebrate the 40th birthday, but I mean, you took a trip to Spain. How long were you there?
I was there for a couple of weeks. You know how you were like, when you realize, like, oh my God, see, oh my Lord, there is a God. This beauty here is amazing.
Mm,
And the people to say you touch your heart, to say, you know what? I'm doing something great. Here I am, a girl from the west side of Chicago in a foreign country. You know
yeah,
what? I can do this. And guess
yeah,
what? Never underestimate what you can do. Your
yeah.
pace, your race, and you can do it.
Yeah, and I love your good. Is it God growth and grind? I
Yes.
love that. I love that you mentioned that throughout the conversation. It seems that it's been the formula or the template and the cadence throughout your life and your
Yeah.
success.
Mhm.
God growth and grind. I love that. But you also always say UAPB every day. Now, where does
Mhm.
that pride come from, and what does it look like when you bring the legacy into your classroom and your alumni work?
It means preserving the legacy is key.
Preserving the legacy is key.
It's key
Yeah.
because you have to realize that those who came before you instilled different types of principles in you to make you and others great. And that you have to realize that you can do it, that you are part of something that's bigger than yourself. UAPB every day. To be a golden lion means you have the ability to push through adversity. Adversity.
Mhm. Absolutely, man. And I think that's a great segue to my next question, Claudia, because this is one that you and I share. We really had to get off the offline conversation to really bring this on camera, but this is one of the most recent things that I can say we shared together. We were in the Chicago club together. We were in the band together. We pledged on campus together. But most recently, this past homecoming 2024, you and I both shared together to be a part of the prestigious 50 under 50 alumni cohort. Now, what does that recognition mean to you, especially being a part of the alpha class of honorees?
Let's go ahead. Go ahead. Help
There
doing
you
what?
go. There you go.
Pop your collar.
There you go. There
Pop
you
your
go.
collar.
You're
Let's
holding
do
yours
it.
up, and I'll hold my Grammy up. But what does that mean to you, and how does that feel being a part of the alpha class of honorees?
It means, you know what, I'm truly honored to say there would be no me for those, Johnson Copelands, for those Carolyn Blakely,
Yeah,
the honors college president, the Lawrence A. Davis. There would be no me if there wasn't no, as I call it, Soror Davis from Alpha Chi, because Sigma Gamma Rho was the first sorority on that campus, and to be
absolutely.
trailblazers of that during that time to say, you know what? I believe in sisterhood, scholarship, and service. And no matter what you do, you're not going to beat me. And I'm going to make sure I rise up. So to be a member of the class of 50 under 50 says that guess what? I stood the test of time and I did the founders of that great university
Yeah,
justice.
yeah, and thank you too. I mean, I said this offline, but I couldn't make the event, and I called you up. I said, Claudia, listen, I can't make the event. Would you accept the award on my behalf? And without question, man, sis, you came through. You accepted the award so graciously amongst all of the other 48 cohorts. And so I say again, congratulations to all of us, man. But that I know for us together, it was one shared because it was one that we journeyed together as freshmen in 2003, and to stand next to you as cohort in this honor, it was truly one thing, but another thing to say, hey, can you get it for me? So you held me down even 20 years later.
I got you because you know what?
20 years later, you still hold me down, Claudia. I appreciate that. I
I
really,
appreciate you. I
yeah,
appreciate you. You know what? Keep look, keep aiming your head up because the view at that top is great and you are great.
yeah, I appreciate it. Listen, I know that you're so busy being a mom, being a sister of service. I don't want to keep you too long. I just got a couple more questions here. But on the road to 40 and beyond, someone in the world right now that you feel that's finessing the game. Who is that person for you that you say that comes to mind when you think that's finessing the game?
Well, of course, as always, I say, well, you had it on the show already. The naive Colton,
For
and
sure.
of course, my lead, Deanna, uh, Yolette McCurran.
Yeah, shout out to Ole Miss. She's the head
You
coach
know
there.
what?
Yolette
And
McCurran. Yeah, she's definitely
Latrice
a mess.
Murray,
Latrice. My co-host, season two
yeah.
co-host. So she's definitely not just throwing someone finesse in the game. She's part of the brand. Yeah, but Latrice Murray, shout out to Kansas City. This is where she's from. Yeah, you can name drop all day
I just
long if
keep
you don't,
look. I can keep on
you
because you
know.
know why?
Yeah, yeah.
God growth and grind.
God, growth
Surround
and grind.
yourself around. Look, I always say, and I keep this model. What folks say: if you are the smartest person in the room, something's wrong.
There you go.
You
I
need
agree.
learning doesn't stop at graduation. Keep on going.
Yeah. Well, Claudia, here's my last question. And the
Okay.
question is actually a question you will leave for my next guest. So this season, I'm asking each of my finessers to leave the question to be answered by the next finesser. So what's that question that you would leave for my next guest to answer?
What impact are you making to make sure that someone else is preserving the legacy?
What impact are you making to making sure that someone else is preserving the legacy?
Hmm.
Ah, I don't know who the next guest is, but I'm sure that with them being a finesser, they would for sure have a great response. And stay tuned, Claudia. You want to see what they say to your question. But I say, Claudia, we can talk forever. We did it before this started, but it's truly an honor to have you on as my sister, as my Chicago way, as another person who really just hit the ground rolling and put boots to the ground.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go back to that hat. So you really put boots on the ground and you've been holding it down, my
I
sister. It's
appreciate that.
truly an honor to have you on this podcast tonight and to share space with me in season 7 before we wrap things up. Truly, it is an honor.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention is that, preserving the legacy. As you know, my daughter Cheyenne is a part of the Royal Club here. The Royal Club is affiliate of Stephen Gamma Road, which is young ladies that are from the ages of 12 to 18 that are doing sisterhood scholarship service, and they have so that's high honors, and they
Mm,
do community service scholarship, and some of the things that they do, they help out with our women's wellness initiative, Swim 1922, product creator care, our annual youth symposium. It's basically trying to empower our young leaders. So we start them at the age of 8,
mm.
Rosebud to the age of 11, go from 12 to 18, which are our roars, until we go into your adulthood. So I appreciate you because guess what? It gives me time to say, hey, you still got other people that's in these streets that's killing it as well. So I thank you. I thank the Sisterhood Scholarship and Service of Seton Gamma Road Sorority Incorporated, as well as I thank the UAPB Alumni Association for making me have that golden lion heart and spirit.
Yeah, it's the pride. It's the pride, right? It's
Yes,
something about their pride, and you can't stop our pride. So, as two alumni from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, we're certainly excited, and we're going to be supporting for a long time, preserving that legacy, right?
preserving the legacy is key. So when you see
Yeah.
me say that, preserving the legacy and having that mindset of UAPB every day inspires the next generation.
That's what's up, man. So, all right, Claudia, I got all your information right here at the bottom so people know how to follow you. They know how to keep up with you. They know how to support the things that you got going on. I can't say it again or enough. Thank you so much for joining this podcast. I normally would say you got to come back, but It'll be over with. But I'll see you in these streets. I'll see you at homecoming.
Come on and get you a plate and bring the
I'm gonna have a
family.
plate. Exactly. I'm
A
gonna definitely
pan.
see you to get a plate. And if I'm in Chicago or when I'm there, I'm gonna hit you up too because we can
Oh,
connect, in Chicago. So, all right, Claudia. So each and every week, everybody knows this. I highlight a new HBCU of the week, and this HBCU of the week is Jarvis College. So shout out to Jarvis College in Texas, holding it down with that same blue and gold color that I think they're the Bulldogs, but I don't want to get it wrong. But shout out to Jarvis College down there in Texas. So holding it down, keep doing your thing. Thank you for being our HBCU of the week and keep preserving the legacy on your campus. And if you're watching this episode, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell somebody you saw this episode. And so the Finesse Media Podcast Season 7. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and I'll see you next week with something brand new. Peace.